This is an iron farm. Or is this an iron farm? A while ago I had the dumb idea of making it so that you could grow any item, like a plant, and for some reason I thought that would be a good video topic, so here we are. So I thought that maybe the way this would work is there would be some way of converting normal seeds into some kind of like seed catalyst, which then you can apply to any item to make it grow. And I think it would be sort of fun to make it like survival based, so I'm going to make it possible to craft all of these things using items you can actually get in survival. So starting off, I think we need some way of turning seeds into the magical seed catalyst. So to do that, I'm going to have to make some kind of like custom crafting system, which is not something I've ever done before, but we'll see how it goes. So I thought it would be cool if in order to create this crafting altar thing, right, you have to build up this little shrine, and then you throw on a netherite hoe, and hopefully it'll be able to check all the blocks, and yeah, it makes a little chest. It's a chest because, as you can see, when you open a chest, wow, there is stuff in it, and that makes it very possible to make sort of like a custom user interface type deal. So speaking of which, I'm gonna have to set up that interface somehow. Okay, so I don't want to bore you too much with exactly how this thing is working, largely because it was really difficult for me to figure out and I spent a long time on it, but whatever. It works. If you open it up, you can fill up this area with seeds, and then you get a seed catalyst. And then you can take the seed catalyst and put it up here with literally anything to get a seeded version of that. So I'm thinking now this will essentially be a seed that, we can plant hopefully wherever. One thing I'm realizing I should have done with this is I probably should have like renamed these glass panes or made them some like different colors or something to make it more obvious what was what. But I didn't do that, so darn. Anyway, next up we need to figure out how exactly we want these to get planted in the ground. And that's going to be a little bit tricky, largely because it's difficult to detect when a player is right-clicking with just any item. Like there are a few items which it's easy to detect if they right-click with them, but most items it's a lot harder. So given that, I think that the way that we're going to have to detect right-clicks is through this setup. I have a villager sitting here floating in front of me, and as you can see on the right, whenever I right-click on him, my score goes up. But as you could also kind of see there, like if I'm moving or turning too fast and I right-click, like he's not going to be right in front of me. And it's just not going to work. So, it's an imperfect solution, but I think given the circumstances, it will work well enough. So hopefully with that set up to actually only be happening when I'm holding the magic seeds. Right now, if I right-click, nothing happens. If I switch to this magic seed stone, and right-click, also nothing happens, so that's how you know it's broken. Okay, a few quick fixes later, and I think this is actually working now. As you can see, I am holding not the seeds, and I right-click, nothing happens. I switch to the seeds, and I right-click, and that happens. So now we have to just set up something to make it actually plant stuff when I right-click, which will probably involve like ray casting, and we still haven't actually made it like grow, and oh my god, this is going to be so much more complicated than I thought. So, as I briefly mentioned there during my semi-panic attack, essentially what we're going to do when a person actually right-clicks, like, it's going to, I guess, check if, like, the spot that we're looking at is farmland, which we can check with raycasting. So, I'm thinking to give this little system that I've set up with the raycasting a quick test. I'm hoping that when I right-click on this farmland, it'll make, like, a gold block just to test. That is very much not working. Alright, a few hopefully fixes later, and let's see, if we till a spot of soil and right-click, hey, we get a gold block, and if we were to say break that and right-click anywhere else, well, we can place the stone apparently, but we can't make a gold block. We can only make that if there's actually farmland. So that's a great start, because now we just need to do something other than put down a gold block. So I guess then, going into the actual, like, growing of our new plant, what I think I want to do is I want it to actually plant, like, a wheat plant. And then we can kind of just track the growth of our plant along with the wheat plant. That way we don't have to build in our own timer. It will also make it work with, like, bone meal and stuff, and, water, and it'll just make it better for farming, as well as simpler for us. So that's just what I'm going to stick with for this. In addition to having just like a wheat plant, however, we're probably going to have a placeholder armor stand just to kind of be keeping track of what's in the spot, as well as probably several sort of like decorative armor stands that will be like holding the item we're growing to make it look like, that item is actually growing on our little plant. So I'm just going to get started sort of summoning all those things, and hopefully it'll work, but we'll see. Okay, I'm fairly confident that this is not going to look very good at first, but, let's give it a shot. I hate that. Okay, let's take another shot at this. I feel like that's closer, but definitely still not right, so... Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spare you guys all the revisions. This is what I came up with. The biggest problem with it right now is that, as you can see, it's way too high. The height is actually going to vary a little bit more, like it's going to start out mostly underground and sort of come up as the plant grows, but I decided I would start out having it just like all above ground so that you could actually see it for now. So I guess now what I just need to do is make it actually, like I said, come up out of the ground as the plant grows. By the way, I know I'm sort of skimming over the details much more than I typically do. That's because this thing is significantly more complicated than what I normally do, and I feel like if I were to go into as much detail as I normally do, it would end up very boring. Okay, well, I think I've set this up. I'm basically just checking to see like what stage the wheat is and then just manually inputting a random height for it based on that. So if we grow that, it sort of slides up, which honestly, like it looks bad kind of here, but I think like as the wheat were growing, that would look good actually. So I think that means that all that's left to do now is just make it actually drop the items when you break it, because of course right now when you break it, like it drops nothing, like it even leaves behind the stone. And actually, you know what else I just realized I forgot to do? I forgot to make it actually set the item from the item you're holding. So right now, stone is just sort of the default item I put in, which is why it looks like it's working, but if I were to use anything besides stone, it wouldn't actually do it. It would actually just keep stone there. So that's another thing we have to fix. In fact, let's do that first. Alright, let's take a look. Hopefully that's actually working. If I hoe this, I have my netherite sword seed, and I right click, wow. It doesn't work, apparently. Okay, I am moderately confident about it actually working this time. Yeah, there it is. We have a nice little netherite sword plant, which we can make grow up, and look at that, so many netherite swords. Incredible. So now we can actually get to work on making like the harvesting bit of this. Alright, I put something up. Honestly, there's a chance it'll already be working, but most likely there'll be some issues, but let's see. We plant that, right? It does that. We grow it up, and then we break it, and it straight up doesn't work. Nice. That's what we like to see. I think I might have found the problem. If I open this up, wow, it's on needs redstone. Who would have thought? I actually turn it on, and it still doesn't work. Well, that's disappointing. Okay, here we have it fully grown again. I'm hoping it'll actually work this time. I mean, we weren't too far off. Okay, I'm feeling moderately good about this attempt. We till the soil, we plant our sword, we grow it all the way up, and we break it. We are so close. Oh my god, why won't it just kill the display things, please? Okay, that thing about third try is the charm, that's a lie, because here we are on the fourth try, and this one is the charm. We plant it, we grow it up, and please, we break it, and it just drops 2 swords. Oh, thank goodness. So yeah, I guess you can just do that and have infinite netherite swords, so that is kind of incredible. Alright, I'm thinking to wrap things up for this video. We're just going to do a quick little test in survival, although I'm actually going to have all the materials I need because I don't feel like acquiring that. So, we have to start by building up our little, farm altar. I believe we had the bone block in the middle, the hay bales, I think the pumpkins were in the corners on the bottom, and then we had the melons like so, and then we tossed another hoe in the middle, and yeah, there it is, our farm altar. So now we can chuck in all of these seeds here. Grab our seed catalyst, put it in with the iron, of course, so that we can make an iron farm and fulfill the prophecy. And now we take our second hoe, actually, do that, plant the iron, we can grow it up real quick, and break it to get some iron, and apparently some wheat as well. Well, thank you all for watching this somewhat strange video. I hope you enjoyed watching me make random nonsense. I know I certainly enjoyed making random nonsense, so there's that. If you enjoyed, consider doing all the stuff, and I will see you next time. Bye.